Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and today we are taking a look at the Toronto Maple Leafs once again. As we talked about them the other day, we're back in Toronto as this is a pretty big rumor. Again, it is a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt, but it is something to consider, and does have a little bit of, it does make a little bit of sense. It is possible. So this is from a couple days ago from Shane Sini. He says, Maple Leafs and Sharks could produce a deadline blockbuster. Now, obviously, Leafs and blockbuster in the same sentence is going to create a lot of buzz, especially in the hockey world ahead of the deadline. So let's take a look at what may be brewing with the Leafs and the Sharks. Toronto Maple Leafs will be buyers before the March 3rd trade deadline. Mark that date on your guys' calendars. Meanwhile, the San Jose Sharks are at the other end of the spectrum, as general manager Mike Grier will look to sell off some of the team's assets. This is likely going to include star forward Timo Meier, and if this is indeed the case, Leafs general manager Kyle Dubas needs to be ready with a trade package Grier can't refuse. Meier is an absolute perfect fit for the Leafs' top six, even though it would be a significant trade package heading to California. The type of impact player that could push the Leafs over the hump to become a Stanley Cup contender. Adding Meier gives Maple Leafs more balance to the lineup. Instead of having to place Yarncroke on the team's second line, maybe they could move him further down the lineup and allowing a guy like Meier to come right in. Timo Meier is a really good player right now, and he kind of mentions here in the article saying that if the Sharks are looking to pursue a guy like Connor Bedard this spring at the NHL draft and potentially in the draft lottery, Timo Meier might hurt their cause of that. He's a guy that can produce a lot of points and maybe keep the Sharks, giving them false hope that there is playoff aspirations this year. And the fact that Timo Meier is due for a really good payday this coming summer, he doesn't really seem like a good fit long-term for the Sharks. It kind of seems like a perfect, hate to say it, kind of a perfect divorce, a perfect breakup, right? An even breakup. And I think that's kind of what we're looking at here. Now, are the Leafs the long-term option for Timo Meier? That might be part of the issue in terms of value. But nonetheless, Timo Meier's a guy that the Leafs are maybe willing to sacrifice multiple first-round picks for, because what do they need those first-round picks for if there's a cup ring on their finger for 2023 for the next 5 to 6 decades? Nobody's going to care about those 2 first-round picks. The Leafs are a team that, and I've talked about this before, you either have to get the guy that is going to be like a Timo Meier or a super high-end player that is going to play on the power play that can knock off a Nylander off the power play. That's really what it's going to come down to. And as much as you don't want to see that, that's what it would cost. And that's why I think the Leafs going after a guy like Meier just really doesn't make sense. I understand the appeal there. There's obviously that sense of like, whoa, Timo Meier would fit perfectly in the top 6. But when you look at the weighing the value of giving up a ton of prospects and draft picks for a guy that's on a pending contract, where is he really going to fit on our team? We've already got really good wingers like Marner and Nylander. Is this guy really the fit that we need right now? And I think that's kind of where the Leafs are at. Of course, every team would love to add a Timo Meier, but does it really make sense? And like I said, it's going to be expensive. Potentially 2 first-round picks this year's and next, potentially a second-round pick next year, and it might cost them like a Nick Abruzzese or a good prospect. I just don't think the Leafs are willing to do that. I think they'd rather try and get a good forward asset and a defenseman for the amount of assets that's worth. But that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below. What do you guys think of the Leafs potentially being interested in Timo Meier of the San Jose Sharks? And leave some mock trades if you think there's any credibility or possibility of the Leafs maybe going after the Sharks forward this spring. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you again next time.